Visit Pokemon Card Market and buy Pokemon cards from base set up to latest evolution set with best prices, secured system and easy handling. Only for European players. How's it going, guys? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the deck for the standard format. It's a Fright Yveltal featuring Garbodor and Tauros-GX. In my opinion, definitely Tier 1 deck for the standard format with the latest Sun and Moon release. So not too many cards changed in this deck. So basically a single card from the Sun and Moon is in this build. And it's a Tauros-GX. That's it. That's all I decided to deck in my deck. So one Tauros-GX with 180 HP, well known. In my opinion, the best GX that we actually have right now in the format, because that Mad Bull with the Ninja Boy can be just performed for the one-hit knockout against anything. Imagine you have 40 damage in your Tauros-GX and Fighting Fury Belt, you can go for 130. 80 damage, you can go for 240 or 250 with the Fighting Fury Belt. That's insane. That's insane how powerful that GX is. Insane. You don't need more than one. Tauros is just a single tech in this deck, and that's all you really need. Don't play 2 copies of Tauros-GX because one is all you really need. Because Fright Yveltal is still a big deal. Because if you catch one of your opponent's Pokemon with a high retreat cost, that Pokemon will not be able to use advantage of Float Stone. He will need a energy cards to pay retreat cost, switch or Escape Rope or Olympia to waste turn of supporter card. But if he can't do that, we can still snipe those Shaymins on the bench, because Shaymins are still going to be very popular. So 10 Pokemon, 38 trainer cards and 12 energies. Let's be short here. 2 Shaymin-EX for the setup, 1 Tauros as a surprise attack. 2 main attackers are going to be, dependent on the game type, Yveltals and those Yveltal's EXs. For the Greninja matchup, of course, I decided to go with 1 copy of Trubbish and 1 copy of Garbodor, but of course, in any other matchup, Trubbish and Garbodor can be very, very good. From the item cards, running 2 copies of Enhanced Hammer, still very good card, very, very powerful card. It can just discard a special energy for money for opponent's Pokemon in play. Solgaleo GX is going to be very popular and very powerful. I can smell that, I can see that. Dark Rage is still going to be good. There are still many good decks in the format. Tauros-GX, maybe quad Tauros-GX decks are going to be good with the Garbodor around, so Enhanced Hammer definitely makes a lot of sense in this deck. Same as 1 copy of Escape Rope, you never know when you can use it. I really like it. Escape Rope can save me from nowhere. It can force my opponent maybe to promote EX or GX in front for 2 price knockout exchange. 4 copies of Max Elixir for energy acceleration, of course. And then, interesting thing, I also decided to take 1 Special Charge and 1 Super Rod so I can recycle both Pokemon's and special energies and basic energies from Disco Pile back into my deck. Decided to cut 1 Trainers Mail, so I have 3 copies of Trainers Mail, 4 Ultra Balls, and 4 copies of a VS Seeker. Interesting thing is also that I decided to go with 2 copies of Pearl City, but make sure to think about discarding 1 copy of Pearl City and adding 1 Pokemon Center Lady. That's the only card that I will suggest to think about that. Nothing else. But still, I feel that 2 copies of Pearl Cities are going to be very powerful. The reason I decided to run Delinquent, because Pearl City is going to be very popular, and a lot of decks will play Pearl City. And if our opponents start first and put Pearl City down to 3, to me, I might not be able to set up properly. So that's the reason why Delinquent makes a lot of sense. But also Delinquent for nowhere can just discard Stadium and force my opponent to discard the rest 3 cards that he actually have in his hand. Also double Lysandre in this deck, because it's a Fright Yveltal. It makes a lot of sense. Probably this is one of the rarest deck where I actually decide to go with 2 copies of Lysandres. 90% of my decks, 98% of my decks are with 1 copy of Lysandre, but this is the deck where I actually play 2 copies of them, and where actually 2 copies of them makes a lot of sense. Lurantis GX, I decided to go with 3 copies of Lysandres. This is insane, but you really need 3 copies of Lysandres because they makes a lot of sense with Lurantis and Vileplume around. 2 copies of N, of course, for the draw support. 4 copies of Sycamore for the draw support, so 6 draw supporter cards. Then interesting also thing that I decided to go with Olympia, even I have 2 Float Stones and 1 Escape Rope. That's just reason because I might need Olympia and also 30 damage heal. How you expect to retreat Yveltal without Olympia or Escape Rope, so it makes a lot of sense. Also, Team Flare Grunt, from nowhere I can discard a energy attached from my opponent's active Pokemon, so let's say my opponent have something like Giratina-EX. In the front, I can just use an Enhanced Hammer, and Team Flare Grunt can scrap both energies in a single turn and attack with my Pitch Black Spear. 16, 60 down to Shaymin, 60 knockout to Shaymin, 60 knockout to Giratina, and something else 60 if he have another EX on his bench next turn. I also want a copy of Ninja Boy, so I can just switch between one of my basic Pokemons from play and with another one from the deck. So mainly for that Tauros-GX Surprise, but also from the Pitch Black Spear Yveltal into the Yveltal-EX. Also can be very popular and very powerful. 2 copies of Fighting Fury Belts for extra 40 HP and 10 damage. It can also be good on Fright Night Yveltal if I have that Garbodor, so I can have 170 HP, very powerful. 2 copies of Float Stones, and of course 12 energies. 4 of them are going to be double Colorless and 8 basic energies. In my opinion, probably top 3 decks in a standard format at this moment, even with those new GXs around. Trust me, Fright Night Yveltal, it's still gonna be very powerful. So if you're looking for the good deck to play, just keep going on with the Yveltal. You're not gonna regret, that's for sure. So if you're looking for any of these cards, you can find them on ccgcastle.com. The link is in my video description, so make sure to check that. So yeah, let's do some game tests so you can actually see this deck in action, so see you in the game. Okay, so didn't want the coin flip here, which means I'm starting second. Opening hand looks interesting. There's Yveltal-EX, Fright Night Yveltal, and one more Yveltal-EX. So I'm gonna have Max Elixir and Ultra Ball for that Shaymin. In theory, maybe even Pitch Black Spear turn 1, if I can top a double Colorless Energy and Float Stone to retreat my active Yveltal-EX, or even better, Float Stone maybe. What else I'm gonna need in this game? I'm definitely gonna need Trubbish, there is no doubt about that, because of the annoying Solgaleo GX and that Ultra Rod ability, which says that my opponent can just simply switch his active Pokemon with one of his benched Pokemons. So let's see. Double Dragon Energy attachment down to the Giratina-EX turn 1. He's always red alert. It's always red alert. So he decided not to play that Escape Rope. There is one Scundering with a Hoopa. Darkrai and Shaymin. Okay, it's not gonna be a Shaymin for 1. If it's gonna be a Shaymin for 1, that's gonna be so bad. I also have my Delinquent in hand. Oh, no Shaymin on the bench. A nice top deck. It's a double Colorless Energy. So, a near perfect start for me. So, one Ultra Ball, let it be for Delinquent and that Darkness Energy, so I'm gonna search my deck for the Shaymin. I have Escape Rope, 2 Enhanced Hammers, I also have 2 copies of Float Stone. I prefer, to be honest, something like a Float Stone and maybe Lysandre in this situation. I'm gonna be happy with the Float Stone. No doubt about that. And also Delinquent for this turn. I'm more than happy with the cards in my hand. I have N for next turn, but I can just disrupt my opponent right now. Force him to discard a little bit of the resources. 3 cards needs to be discarded from his hand. I could of course go for the okay, Ultra Ball, a Special Charge discard, and 1 energy, that's fine. I could of course always go with my N and tries to find something like Enhanced Hammer, so I can just disrupt his Giratina, but Delinquent is always good, especially when you can use it to disrupt your opponent hand, like I did right now. So I also left the bench space for my Shaymin discarding, but also he discarded Special Charge. That's going to be very important. 1 Rainbow Energy. All right. Shaymin for setup. That's perfect. So I need to put my Pearl City as soon as possible in play. So without Delinquent, if my opponent plays just those Pearl Cities, he's not going to be able to retreat. So the good thing is the next turn I can knock out both Giratina and the Darkrai, if he can't find that Solgaleo, of course, for the switch. So let's see. Well, there it is. There is a Champ Solgaleo GX. And with a rare candy, he can simply evolve into the Solgaleo GX and start to apply pressure on me with all those energies. But yeah, luckily I have 2 Enhanced Hammers, and if I can pull both Enhanced Hammers, I can just discard 2 Double Dragon energies. I can also discard that Rainbow energy, but to be honest, I think I'm just gonna go with, okay, a VS Seeker for Sycamore. I need Trubbish. I need Trubbish and Garbodor as soon as possible. Simply, I want to prevent his Soul Burst GX. Another rare candy, another Solgaleo. Oh my gosh. So Super Rod for 2 Darkness energies and Hydreigon EX. Okay, I'm still happy. I just need to find my Pearl City and put my Trubbish on bench. No freaking way he managed to get Pearl City. And he again puts Pearl City 3 downs to me. Which means I can just Delinquent one more time, and I'm definitely gonna go with Delinquent one more time. Yeah, buddy, you're gonna take another Delinquent here and depend on the top deck. So Soul Burst. But the worst thing is he can just simply one-hit knock me out with that Darkrai. So I'm gonna need... let's see. Let's just see the situation here, because that Giratina is very powerful at this moment. Also, Solgaleo can go for 1-hit knockout, so there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different options. I'm thinking one more turn about Delinquent, because I attach double course energy to my Yveltal. And I'm thinking about just spreading 6 damage counters to his Darkrai EX, because he's the main boss. He can strike for 1-hit knockout, the same as the Solgaleo GX in this situation. No need to worry about Solgaleo right now, because he just needs to discard all energies from the Solgaleo GX, so it's not going to be the big threat. Both Pearl Cities right now discarded from my opponent play, so I'm not sure if he ran 3 copies of Pearl Cities. I would assume no. Yeah, that was a bad Delinquent, but still, I will not complain, simply because if I played N, I will just allow him to get new hand. But right now, I can see him either way knocking me out. Oh, a top deck of Sycamore. V Seeker for Professor Sycamore. You couldn't get better top deck. Why I can't top deck something like the Ultra Ball? So there is Ultra Ball down to the Darkrai. Of course it's gonna be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 20, 140, 60, 80, 200. Yeah, 200 plus damage. Yeah, it's gonna be 200 plus damage. There's also one Ultra Ball for another Cosmo. I'm gonna need another Yveltal. I'm gonna need, as soon as possible, Trubbish in play. I'm gonna also need 2 copies of Enhanced Hammers as soon as possible, so I can just disrupt that Solgaleo on the bench. You're kidding me, right? Top deck Ultra Ball for Shaymin. I was not 100% sure if I have another Shaymin, to be honest, so yeah, that's the reason why I didn't attach energy. And I'm gonna end here. Well, Shaymin, thanks a lot for your support. I'm gonna play M right now and hope I can find... there's a Trubbish, okay, 2 Trainers Mails. Give me at least 1 copy of Enhanced Hammers and I'm gonna be happy. Well, there is just Escape Rope, Trainers Mail number 2, a Ninja Boy. Right now I'm gonna knock out his Darkrai with my Yveltal. So why not to take just a Ninja Boy? That's gonna be so cheeky. I can smell that. Or of course, maybe it's not gonna be. I can go for 100, putting 1 double course energy to 1 of my other Pokemons, which is gonna be enough for the knockout. Let's just use that Y Cyclone. Let's strike for 100, eliminate that Darkrai, put a double course energy to my Fright Yveltal and grab 2 prize cards. So a Garbodor and a Max Elixir. Next turn, however, I'm gonna use that Ninja Boy. It's just a question, will he decide to knock me out with his Sunsteel Strike for 230? That's really a question, because in that situation, he's gonna grab 2 prize cards and he's gonna discard all energies from his Solgaleo, and then I can simply use advantage of my Garbodor, of course. There is Lysandre, probably for that Yveltal on the bench. Even better, because it's going to be just 1 prize. Then I can just Lysandre somehow his Giratina and take the knockout. I'm speaking too much, like my opponent hurts me. Oh yeah, so end down to 4. Give me... Okay, give me a lot of options. Sunsteel Strike for 230. That's the knockout. That's the knockout, and I'm still searching for my Enhanced Hammers. I can't find them. I simply need 1 Enhanced Hammer at least to just disrupt that annoying Rainbow Energy. Yeah, but that Rainbow Energy is not big threat right now. The big threat is that Giratina on the bench. So, oof, I almost did that. I almost did that. Ultra Ball. Gonna be for Trubbish. Sycamore better be good, because I'm gonna be so mad. Give me 2 Enhanced Hammers, I really need them. A 1 is gonna be good. Thank you. Max Elixir. There we go, energy. Down to my Fright Yveltal. And right now I'm gonna use the Enhanced Hammer. Float Stone. Double course energy attachment. Escape Rope, why not? Let's see, what's gonna be in the front? Of course it's gonna be another Solgaleo with the Rainbow Energy, but that's even better for me, because if I can tops something like I'm speaking too much again. Something like a Team Flare Grunt, I can discard that energy from that Solgaleo. But so far I'm good. So far I'm definitely good. Oh, you're kidding me. You decide to promote Hoopa in the front. Okay, so that's gonna be Pitch Black Spear for the victory, probably. Next turn, Giratina is knocked out. Next turn, Hoopa, it's gonna be close to the knockout. But I can always... Alright, another Rainbow Energy attached. Close to Red Alert, but still not enough. Ultra Rod down to my Giratina. I think I simply need to keep my Lysandre and pretend like I don't have nothing in my hand. But Enhanced Hammer is clearly victory here. So I pull Team Flare Grunt. That's 60 and that's 62 Hoopa. And that's it. So I have weak 3 in my hand. Only card that can actually save my opponent right now is gonna be a Enhanced Hammer and N. And of course he needs energy to knocks out. Nah, he can't do that. He cannot do that. If he plays N, he can just simply knock out my Fright and Yveltal. If he plays Lysandre and knocks out my Yveltal-EX, he's gonna go down to 1 prize and I'm gonna just knocks out his Hoopa on the bench. It looks like that he actually realized that and he decided to concede. Well, what to say about this? Fright and Yveltal is a still big deal. It's still way too strong in this current standard format. So with the Tauros-GX, even stronger, but very strong. So I'm gonna start first. Let's take a look at the opening hand. Okay, so no basic Pokemon. Grass deck on the other side. I don't like it, especially if it's a Vileplume. But maybe it's just a Dedicute or something like that. Yeah, I know it's wrong. It's wrong pronounced. I have 2 Enhanced Hammers and Flare Grunt in my deck. That's more than enough to disrupt your opponent, especially if he plays something like Darkrai and look at my hand. Especially if he plays something like a Darkrai and a Giratina. Also Solgaleo, for example. So let's see. I'm starting. Oh, nice. Tauros on the other side. Ultra Ball will be for Shaymin-EX. Before I set up 4 Max Elixirs. Is the Super Rod in the deck? No, it's priced. So Max Elixirs for only 4 basic energies in my deck. It's gonna be hard to get them. But of course, right now I have Max Elixir for 3 energies. Oh, there we go. So 2 more energies left in my deck. How bad is that? Alright, never mind. I decided to pass my turn without attaching my tool. I have Enhanced Hammer, which means that I can just simply enhance energy from his Tauros. And I can just use my Y-Cyclone for 90. And put energy to my bench at Yveltal-EX. That's the strategy for now. That's the strategy for now. So there is 1 Rowlet, and it's gonna be a Ultra Ball for Grass Energy and 1 copy of Beedrill-EX with that with the double scraper. You can discard up to 2 tools attached from your opponent's Pokémon's in play. Shaymin-EX set up for 3 extra cards. A Fighting Fury Belt attached to that Tauros. And of course, that's gonna be a I pronounce this card Dedicute GX, but it's not. I think it's not. Alright, so 2 damage counters to my active Yveltal, and that's it. Okay, if that's gonna be it, I'm just gonna attack with my Y-Cyclone right now for 100 and move that double course energy, guess what, down to my Yveltal-EX. Of course, he can always use Mad Bull and attack for 310 with a double course energy, but the question is, can he even find a double course energy? So there is a N. I need to say love to my opponent. Okay. So, Fright and Yveltal. That's something I was searching for. There we go, another beastly GX in play, which means 2 more damage counters for me. So 4 damage counters can be spreaded around the board easily, and that's Ultra Ball for another Shaymin-EX. I see my opportunity knocking out those Shaymins with my Fright and Yveltal, so I'm definitely gonna need it. What else I'm gonna need? I'm gonna need Trubbish, so 1 top deck Ultra Ball is all I really need. Or any kind of supporter is top deck, all I really need. There is a double course energy, so there's a red alert, which means probably but maybe not. But probably that's gonna be a Mad Bull GX or even Rage for 140. Not enough for the knockout, but he can try to go with the Rage. If he decides to go with the Rage, I'm definitely gonna knock out his Tauros next turn. So 130 plus 60, 190. Okay. I'm gonna need to just do math. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Yeah, I have enough for the knockout with my Yveltal here. Only problem is, after I use my Yveltal, he's gonna knock out my Yveltal-EX with his Tauros-GX. But never mind for that. Never mind for that. I managed to get Trainers Mail, so that's the card I'm looking for. Imagine right now Tauros with a Mad Bull GX for like 570 plus 10 for Fighting Fury Belt, 580 damage. That's enough to knock out 2 Wailords in play. Almost enough to knock out 2. Yeah, it's enough to knock out both 2 Wailords in play because Wailord actually have 250 HP. So Feather Arrow, 2 damage counters, say goodbye. And I'm gonna promote in the front my Shaymin-EX. Happen to have Float Stone in my hand, happen to have Ultra Ball, so that's all I really need. If he had Double Course Energy, of course, he's gonna attack me with his a Horn attack for like a 70. And then Shaymin is gonna be knocked out. Luckily, that's not gonna happen, so Ultra Ball for the Fright Night Yveltal and for the Delinquent, because I really need setup for 6 and I also need that Double Course Energy for late game. I simply need it. I already have 1 Pitch Black Spear Yveltal. All I really need here is just Max Elixir and Double Course Energy. Speaking about Max Elixir, there it is. There is also Fighting Fury Belt. Let's see. It's all about energy card right now. And I managed to strike energy. That's perfect. The next step for me, of course, it's gonna be to find a Double Course Energy. And then I can simply start to spread 6 damage counters down to his benched Pokemon. And there we go. There it is. How can he retreat? I don't know, but I know that I can just snipe those Shaymins and simply, with 3 more next turns, grab the victory here. So he definitely needs any kind of switch. He definitely needs a switch or something like that. Olympia, Escape Rope, there's a V-Seeker just for N, so for now I'm fine. Only thing that can actually help him is a switch, but I will assume that he don't have switch in his deck. So Super Rod, nice! There we go, so I can recycle finally some of my energy cards and another Fright Night Yveltal. And of course I'm gonna do that. Of course I'm gonna do that, so 1 Trainer's Mail. So the next step for me is gonna be to simply use my Ninja Boy on my Shaymin-EX with 2 damage counters and simply put it down to my Tauros-GX. So I can surprise my opponent with the Mad Bull from nowhere. He still don't have access to the Lysandre in his discard pile, which is good. So next turn I can pull 2 more prize cards, and there is 1 Feather Arrow. It's gonna be to my active Yveltal, of course. Another Feather Arrow. 2 more damage counters to active Yveltal. Is that it? Looks like it's gonna be it. Oh, what a nice top deck. A Ninja Boy. Whew! Don't tell me that. Let me see something. Only 1 V-Seeker played. 2 Shaymins in play. A Ninja Boy. energy to attach to my Shaymin, and then simply and for 4 more cards. And for that, Trubbish and a baby Yveltal number 2. That's all I really need. So that's gonna be a Pitch Black Spear and knockout to his Shaymin. 120 damage to his active Delinquent GX. 2 more prize cards for me, another Darkness Energy, and a Parallel City. There we go, guys. So, I really want to see as many damage counters on my Fright Yveltal, just because I have Ninja Boy for that Tauros-GX, and I can simply Ninja Boy to my Tauros-GX, but also if I Ninja Boy just simply my Yveltal-EX, it's going to be more than enough for the knockout against his Delinquent GX. So he can spread 6 more damage counters. Maybe hope to find Escape Rope somehow, but if not, the game is definitely over on the next turn. He definitely needs to do something out here, and looks like he can't. Okay, so waiting. Finally, a Grass Energy. So let's see, he can definitely use the Hollow Hunt and grab 3 cards from his discard pile. For example, Lysandre, for example, I don't know, Professor Kukui maybe a V-Seeker to have access to any of these. Okay. So another Feeder Arrow. I can still go for 120 with my Ninja Boy, so it really doesn't matter. It's gonna be knockout with the Ninja Boy, that's for sure. And Hollow Hunt GX. So with the Yveltal, max damage I can do is gonna be Evil Ball 20, 40, 60, 80, 110 with the Darkness Energy. And with 120, that's 230. So I definitely Ninja Boy into my Tauros-GX and surprise my opponent from nowhere. That's the reason why Tauros-GX is so powerful tech in the Fright Yveltal. So double Colorless Energy, Seeker and Ultra Ball. Imagine top deck Tauros-GX. Probably I would just cry. But yeah, that's it. That's going to be a Mad Bull GX for 120, since he already had 120, that's 240, and that's enough for the last hit knockout with the Tauros-GX. So what a surprise for my opponent. I don't know if he expected to see that. I didn't have double Colorless Energy, so I didn't have enough for the knockout with my Yveltal-EX, but at the end, Tauros-GX was all I really need to grab the victory in this game. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. In my opinion, this is definitely a Tier 1 deck still in the current standard format, and of course it's going to be more than better as it was before that Tauros-GX, because that Ninja Boy into Tauros-GX from nowhere can simply bring you a one-hit knockout against one of your opponent big EXs, but even against those GXs without too many problems. So don't forget to hit the like button on this video if you like it, subscribe to the channel as always if you subscribe to the channel if you already didn't. Oh my gosh, I'm so lagging today. But yeah, that's gonna be all. Stay tuned for the upcoming video tomorrow. I'm gonna do a booster box battle opening, so you should probably enjoy watching that. As always, have a nice day and goodbye.